My mom and dad showed up with a huge moving van to assist me in shifting to a tiny studio flat, exactly when my pregnant sister's baby furniture was scheduled to be delivered straight to my home address. I immediately dialed the cops. "Hey guys, today's tale is going to leave you speechless but super quick. If you're enjoying these videos, please smash that subscribe button. The channel's been a little slow recently, and your support means everything. Let's dive right in." Original post. I'm a 29-year-old guy, and I desperately need some outside opinions on my family drama that has spiraled completely out of control. I'm seriously starting to question my own sanity here. Background first. For the last 7 years, I've busted my gut to reach this point. Straight after university, I stayed in a shoebox studio for 4 solid years, pinching every cent possible. I took extra freelance gigs on top of my full-time job, skipped every holiday, and basically survived on instant noodles and cheap peanut butter. 2 years back, I finally scraped together enough for a deposit on a modest 2-bedroom flat in a nice area. Nothing luxurious, but it's mine, paid for with my own sweat. I turned the spare bedroom into a proper home office because I work remotely 3 days a week. My younger sister, Sarah, 27, has always been the golden child of the family. I'm not bitter, okay, maybe slightly, but that's just how it's always been. She quit university twice, drifted from one low-paid retail job to another, and my parents constantly rescued her. "She's finding herself," they'd say. Meanwhile, I was grinding 60-hour weeks and nobody batted an eye. 3 weeks ago, Sarah announced she's expecting. The dad is her on-and-off boyfriend Tyler, 30, who works part-time in a vape store and swears his band is about to blow up. They've been together roughly 8 months in total, though not continuously. My parents were over the moon, their first grandchild. Here's where everything went completely mad. Last Sunday, we had our usual family meal at my parents' place. Out of the blue, my mum, Linda, 52, says, "James, darling, we really need to discuss your flat situation." I had zero clue what she was talking about. She then explained that since Sarah is pregnant, she needs a suitable home. She's currently sharing a cramped 1-bedroom with Tyler, which apparently isn't fit for raising a child. My dad, Robert, 54, jumped in. "Babies need room to grow, a proper nursery. You're single, James. You don't need 2 bedrooms?" I nearly spat out my drink. They were dead serious. They genuinely expected me to hand over the flat I had bought with my own money to my sister, not sell it, not rent it out, just gift it. I tried to keep my cool. I explained that I used the second room as my office, that I'd worked incredibly hard for this place, that it's my home. My mum's reply: "Family looks after family. When you have kids one day, Sarah will return the favor." Sarah just sat there with a tiny smirk, gently stroking her stomach. She's barely 10 weeks, there's literally nothing to stroke yet. She stayed quiet for most of it, but did mention how ideal my neighborhood would be for a young family, excellent schools, safe streets, park nearby. I said no, clearly and politely. That's when the meltdown began. Mum burst into tears, calling me selfish and claiming I didn't care about my future niece or nephew. Dad accused me of being materialistic and putting bricks and mortar above blood. Sarah finally piped up, saying she always knew I was jealous of her and that some people simply aren't cut out to be uncles. I walked out. I've been bombarded with messages ever since. Mum sends me links to articles about the importance of family sacrifice. Dad actually emailed me an Excel sheet. I'm not joking, proving mathematically that a single adult requires far less square footage than a growing family. Sarah posted a vague Facebook status about how it takes a village and how thankful she is for those who truly support her journey. Now the extended family is piling on. My aunt rang to tell me I'm heartless. My cousin messaged asking if it's true I'm leaving a pregnant woman on the streets. I've tried explaining that Sarah already has a roof over her head, but nobody wants to listen. What really stings is that they're not offering me a temporary room at theirs or helping me find alternative housing. They just assume I'll sort myself out like I always do. When I mentioned I still have a mortgage, Mum casually suggested I could downsize to a studio again. Rent would be cheaper than my current payments, and they'd help sometimes with the difference. I'm not a monster. I do love my sister despite everything. I'd gladly help her search for a larger flat, maybe even put some money toward a deposit if she showed any effort to save herself. But handing over my home, the one thing I poured years of sacrifice into, so she and her deadbeat boyfriend can live rent-free on my mortgage. No way. Am I the villain here? I feel like my entire family is gaslighting me, painting me as some cold-hearted miser who wants babies to suffer. But this is my home. I earned it fair and square. Why should I lose it because Sarah made reckless choices? The pregnancy wasn't planned, by the way, she told me herself. Yet somehow it's now my job to fix their housing crisis. I need advice. How do I stand my ground without torching every family bridge? How do I avoid becoming the eternal bad guy in their narrative? Edit. Wow, this exploded. Thank you all so much. To answer frequent questions, yes, the flat is 100% in my name alone. Parents contributed zero to the deposit. They actually warned me I was rushing into buying. Sarah and Tyler currently pay $900 month rent. My mortgage is $2,400. Tyler is doing absolutely nothing to step up. I'm attempting one more calm conversation this weekend. We'll keep you posted. Update 1, 2 weeks later. Strap in because it somehow got worse. Thank you everyone for the previous advice. It gave me the backbone I needed. Last Saturday, I invited the whole crew to my flat for lunch, hoping my own turf would keep things civil. Terrible idea. They arrived 45 minutes early. I was still chopping vegetables when I heard a key turning in my door. Yes, my parents still had the spare key from move-in day 2 years ago. Mental note: change locks immediately. In March, Mum, Dad, Sarah, Tyler, plus my Aunt Patricia and Uncle Michael, whom they'd apparently appointed as neutral mediators. Tyler instantly flopped on my sofa and started fiddling with my PlayStation. Sarah began wandering around, just looking. Mum started reorganizing my kitchen cupboards because apparently my spice rack has offended her for 2 years. I tried to gather everyone in the living room to talk, but Aunt Patricia launched straight into a speech. James, we're all here because we love you and we're worried about the family. It quickly became a tag team lecture on why I'm unreasonable. Dad opened his laptop and presented an actual PowerPoint titled Optimal Space Allocation for Multi-Generational Families. Mum sobbed about missing out on the full grandma experience. Aunt Patricia lectured about how her generation knew the meaning of sacrifice. Sarah complained about morning sickness needing stability. Tyler randomly announced the band might need the non-existent garage for rehearsals. I kept my composure and repeated that I empathize, but this is my home, not a communal asset. I offered to help house hunt and even put $1,000 toward a new deposit. That's when it all unraveled. Sarah stood up and announced she needed to check something, walked straight into my bedroom, opened my wardrobe, and started shining her phone torch inside. This would make the perfect nursery nook, she said casually. I was stunned. She smiled and added, Mum said you'd come around eventually. I returned to the living room to find Mum holding a tape measure in my office, telling Dad exactly where the cot would go. I snapped, not yelling, but ice-cold firm, and ordered everyone out. Mum tried the tears again. Dad got aggressive. As they filed out, Sarah turned and said, Oh, by the way, I booked a nursery designer for Thursday at 2 p.m. You don't even need to be home, just leave a key under the mat. I told her that wasn't happening. She shrugged. Fine, I'll use Mum's spare. I called a locksmith that same evening, but it didn't stop. Monday. Sarah sent me a Pinterest board titled Baby's Room Ideas, James's Flat with 47 pins. Tuesday. Mum rang hysterically because the locksmith refused to let her and the designer in. Wednesday. Building management called. Someone tried to add Sarah and Tyler as authorized tenants on my deed. Thursday. Doorbell camera caught Sarah and the designer trying every key on a giant ring for 10 solid minutes. I have it all recorded. Thursday night, the family group chat erupted, wasted $200 consultation fee, cruel uncle, breaking Mum's heart, etc. Friday. I woke to 14 missed calls and discovered Sarah had created a public Facebook event. Help Sarah and baby move into their new home. Address, mine, date, 3 weeks away, 23 yes RSVPs. I commented publicly that this is my residence and no move is happening. Event deleted within an hour, but screenshots circulated as proof of my cruelty. Then Tyler privately messaged asking whether I'm taking my PS5 with me when I move out or leaving it for the kid later. I'm done. I've installed proper security cameras, documented everything, and I'm strongly considering a formal cease and desist against my own parents. The pregnancy hormones excuse is nonsense. This is calculated entitlement. Update 2, 6 weeks later. I knew I'd be back, but I didn't expect this level of crazy. After the last post, things went eerily quiet for 2 weeks. I used the time wisely, cameras everywhere. Cease and desist delivered, started therapy. The therapist quickly pointed out this isn't about the flat. It's decades of them treating my reliability as an infinite resource while enabling Sarah. Week 3 of silence, my cousin Emma texts asking if I'm excited about the big move. She forwards Sarah's Instagram story, my exact balcony with my plants visible, captioned, "So grateful for family stepping up." Thursday midday I'm at the office, real office when my neighbor Kevin messages. "Big moving truck outside, you shifting?" I open the camera app. There's a rented U-Haul, my parents' car, Sarah Tyler's car, and strangers milling about. Inside the open truck. Crib, changing table, boxes labeled nursery. They weren't waiting anymore, they were moving her in today. I raced home, called 911 en route explaining attempted break-in. I arrived just as a locksmith pulled up. Dad was handing him cash while Mum reassured someone on the phone that my son gave permission but forgot the key. I stepped out, still on the line with police, recording everything. "Do not touch that lock, I'm the owner. These people have no right to be here." Mum tried the perfect timing, routine. Sarah instantly burst into tears about stressing the baby. Tyler complained about the truck rental clock ticking. The locksmith backed off immediately. Police arrived within minutes. I showed ID, the cease and desist, footage of previous key attempts. The two random guys with them got nervous. One had an outstanding warrant, arrested on the spot for unrelated child support. The other admitted he was a hired tenant relocation specialist, i.e. muscle to throw my stuff into the truck if needed. Officers explained that would be a legal eviction and told everyone to leave or be arrested. Formal trespass notice issued on the spot. As they were escorted out, Dad screamed about choosing possessions over family. Mum wailed that I'm killing her grandchild with stress. Sarah sobbed that she'd already changed her address everywhere. Tyler asked if they could at least unload the baby furniture since it was already packed. Then I noticed the truck was stuffed with every single item from their old flat. They had given notice to their landlord that morning, 100% confident I'd cave. Later I found an envelope in my mailbox. A fake tenancy agreement starting in 3 weeks, rent $500 a month, mortgage $2,400, already signed by Sarah and witnessed by my parents, with a note saying I could crash at theirs until I sort something out. They were planning to forge my signature. I filed restraining orders the next day, removed them as beneficiaries on everything, changed emergency contacts. The family chat went nuclear, calling police on a pregnant woman. Money changed him, grandparents spinning in graves, etc. Only cousin Emma privately said, "I saw the footage, they're unhinged, hold the line." I posted the security clips publicly before blocking the lot of them. The following week. Prank deliveries, fake Craigslist ads with my number, hundreds of spam sign-ups, fake locksmith callouts. Then silence, until a certified letter from a lawyer. My parents and sister are suing me for emotional distress, breach of verbal family agreement, unlawful eviction, plus costs of the wasted truck and storage unit total demand $15,000 plus transfer of the flat deed. My lawyer literally laughed out loud and said it's the most frivolous thing he's seen in 20 years. We countersued for harassment, attempted B&E, attempted fraud, defamation. Bonus. Because they gave notice on their old place and couldn't move back, plus new criminal associations. They're all crammed into my parents' 3-bedroom house. Tyler's band rehearses in the garage at 2 a.m. Instant karma. Final update 3 months later. This is the last one, closure at last. Their lawsuit was thrown out in under 3 weeks. Judge called it an embarrassment. Their own lawyer apologized to mine. Our countersuit succeeded on multiple counts. Harassment. $3,000 damages, attempted fraud, the fake lease. Sarah got 18 months probation plus 100 HRS community service, parents 12 months probation, each total awarded. $7,500 plus all my legal fees during discovery. We obtained Sarah's text messages. She had bragged to Tyler's mum about the full plan. Move in, have me keep paying mortgage while I sofa surf, stop the $500 rent. Once baby arrived because he'll never evict his own niece, then claim adverse possession after a year. They had completely misunderstood the law. Those texts were read in open court. Judge was furious. Restraining orders granted for 2 years. Extended family went silent the moment court docs became public record. The baby, a little girl, was born 2 months ago. I know only because Emma told me. I haven't met her and I don't intend to open that door again. Current living situation, 5 adults plus newborn plus colicky baby in my parents' house. Tyler's band still practices nightly. Mum had to take early retirement to provide free daycare. Dad's working overtime to cover bills. Big reveal. Tyler had been secretly working full-time for his uncle's construction firm for 2 years, hiding the income in a separate account. $23,000 saved. while pretending to be broke and planning to ditch everyone for LA once the band made it. Tyler's own mother discovered it, felt horrified that her son let my elderly parents go into debt supporting him, and sent me all the bank statements. I forwarded everything to the lawyers. Sarah exploded when she found out, kicked Tyler out, and is now pursuing child support. My parents are left supporting mother and baby alone, where I am now. Still in my beautiful two-bedroom flat, newly decorated gaming office paradise, got a big promotion, started dating an amazing woman I met in the therapy waiting room. She thinks my family are a cautionary tale, built a solid chosen family of friends who respect boundaries. Last week, a 3-page handwritten letter from Mum arrived via my lawyer, all about how much she misses me and how hard everything has been for her. Zero apology, zero accountability, straight into the bin. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is choose yourself. To everyone who followed this wild ride and sent strength when I needed it most, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You reminded me I wasn't crazy, selfish, or wrong. My home is still mine, my peace is intact, and for the first time in 29 years, I'm finally free.